Hey there, 8th grade students, and welcome to today's Explainer. Have you ever caught yourself staring in the mirror and wondering why you have, say, your dad's exact height or your mom's eye color? Or maybe you've wondered why some of your classmates can effortlessly roll their tongues while others literally just can't? Well, it's super easy to think that these things are just, a random luck of the draw. But I'm here to tell you that these physical features aren't random accidents at all. They are carefully designed with a very specific purpose. Today, we're going to be exploring the divine blueprint, genetics and inherited traits. All right, let's take a quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll start with the blueprint of life, dive into what exactly is DNA, and then see how genes shape you. After that, we'll open up the genetic cookbook, test your knowledge, and finally wrap things up with education and morality. Let's get right into it. So, let's kick things off with part 1, the blueprint of life. Think about an architect for a second. An architect uses a blueprint to know exactly where every single wall, door, and window goes, right? I mean, without it, the house just couldn't be built. Well, your biology works the exact same way. Every single cell in your body contains a master instruction manual. And that brings us to a really foundational truth found in Psalm 139:14. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. You see, you are absolutely not a random collection of cells. You are crafted with total intention and a divine purpose. Moving right along to part 2, what exactly is DNA? DNA, it's a huge word, right? Deoxyribonucleic acid. It is literally the fundamental instruction manual for all living things. Structurally, it's this incredibly complex molecule shaped like a double helix. If you just picture a normal ladder and then give it a twist, that's exactly what a double helix looks like. This twisted ladder is safely tucked away inside the nucleus, which is basically the control center of your cells. The rungs of that ladder are built from very specific chemical bases, A, T, C, and G, and they pair together to create the code of life. And get this, here's a mind-blowing fact for you. If you were to stretch out the DNA found in just one of your microscopic cells, it would be about 2 meters long. No way, right? Now, if we zoom in a bit on that massive manual, we find genes. And I really want to emphasize the difference here. If DNA is the whole giant instruction manual, genes are these specific individual segments of that DNA. Think of them like individual sentences or unique recipes within that larger book. They determine very specific physical traits. For instance, one gene might contain the recipe for curly hair, while an entirely different gene dictates your specific blood type. Okay, let's physically visualize this journey. Imagine we're hopping into a microscopic submarine and diving deep into the body. First stop, we enter the cell's nucleus. Second, we see that absolutely incredible twisted DNA double helix structure just floating there. Third, we zoom in even closer to read the specific A, T, C, and G base codes that make up the rungs of that ladder. And finally, fourth, we identify a specific gene segment, a little cluster of those codes all working together to control a single trait. It's just a total masterpiece of microengineering. Which brings us nicely to part 3, how genes shape you. Remember earlier when we talked about getting your dad's dimples or your mom's exact eye color? Well, here is exactly how that mystery is solved. You don't just get a random jumble of instructions. No, you get exactly one set of genes from your mom and exactly one set of genes from your dad. Those two sets combine to make your unique genetic makeup. It's this perfect, intentional blend of instructions from both branches of your family tree. Now, here's a stat that's just mind-blowing. All humans share about 99.9% of the exact same DNA. Think about that. We are overwhelmingly similar on a genetic level, all of us functioning with almost the exact same biological instruction manual. But, and this is a big but, it's that tiny 0.1% difference that makes you completely unique. That little sliver of a difference dictates everything that stands out about you, from whether you can taste certain bitter flavors to your distinct physical features and everything else in between. It's just a tiny fraction, sure, but it holds the absolute key to your physical individuality. All right, let's open up part 4, the genetic cookbook. Let's actually walk through 3 quick examples to really picture this. First up, the recipe book analogy. Think of your entire DNA like a giant comprehensive cookbook. Your genes are the individual recipes inside it, telling your body exactly how to cook up something like eye color or height. Second, Think about identical twins. They share the exact same DNA, which is why they look so remarkably similar, right? But even they can develop differences as they grow, which shows us that environmental factors also play a huge role alongside our genes. Third, understanding genetic disorders. Sometimes, honestly, the gene recipe just doesn't copy correctly. When there's a typo in the genetic coding, it leads to disorders like sickle cell anemia or cystic fibrosis. And this really highlights just how absolutely crucial accurate genetic coding is for our overall health. And cracking this genetic code goes way beyond just understanding ourselves. Understanding DNA helps scientists solve incredibly complex crimes, study and find cures for diseases, and even improve the crops we grow for food. Reading this genetic code allows us to do incredible things that impact our daily lives all around the globe. That's exactly why it's such a deeply important and, frankly, exciting field of study. Okay, grab your mental pencils. It's time for part 5, testing your knowledge. Let's do a quick little review to see what you've retained from our journey into the cell today. Here are your 5 homework questions. Number 1, what does the acronym DNA actually stand for? Number 2, where exactly is DNA located inside the cell? Number 3, what are genes? Number 4, how are specific traits passed from a parent down to a child? And number 5, this one's crucial. How does Psalm 139:14 connect to what you've learned about DNA today? As you write out these answers later, I highly encourage you to apply both the scientific facts and the spiritual lessons we've just uncovered. Finally, let's wrap up with part 6, education and morality. Let's zoom all the way out for a second. The crucial point here is that education without morality will hurt. Just let the weight of that statement sink in. Seriously, what is the actual point of being incredibly smart or knowing the intricate microscopic details of how DNA works if we turn around and use our lives to make bad choices that hurt ourselves and the people around us? Knowledge without a strong moral compass to guide it is ultimately destructive. But thankfully, there's a better way. Romans chapter 8, verses 6 and 7 promises peace of mind to everyone who keeps their mind spiritual. Intertwining biblical morality with your education is what provides true, lasting peace of mind. It ensures that as you grow in your intellect and your scientific understanding, you're also growing in your wisdom and your character. That is the whole point, and it's the ultimate goal of learning about our divine design in the first place. So I want to leave you with this one final thought. Knowing that every microscopic detail of your DNA was intentionally authored, how will you use your unique gifts to honor your Creator today? Really think about that deeply as you go through the rest of your day. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, right down to the very base codes of your DNA. Stay curious, stay spiritual, and we will see you in the next explainer.